Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is me, your favorite girl Sophia, and I'm back again with another video. So if it's your first time stopping by on my channel, please do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and drop a comment in the comment section down below. But if you're a returnee, if you're oldie, if you're OG, if you're a G, thank you for coming back. So guys, today we're going to be talking about growing up in a Nigerian home as a first child. And yeah, if you'd like to know what this video is all about, then without further ado, let's get into the video.
Jesus, let me know, but they show no vision. They say you found it, but she's still gonna hold on. They say you found it, but she doesn't want.
As you already know, today we're going to be talking about growing up as a first child in a Nigerian home. And yes, growing up as a first child was really exhausting, yet it was beautiful, not gonna lie. First things first, my mom and my dad were never married. The typical Nigerians would say you were born out of wedlock. Yes, I was born out of wedlock, but I have siblings. Okay, I have siblings my mom had with my stepdad, because my mom actually got married and had kids, right? So I had to be the first child. But let's take it back to when my mom wasn't married. Growing up with my mom as a first child and only child, as at the time, we used to move a lot. So we used to move like from one house to another. So if we're moving interstate, it used to be from one house to another, but we sort of used to travel from one state to another too, and that sort of affected my education, because I was always the new girl. I always had to move from one school to another, and for some weird reasons I always felt like it was stressful for me. It was really stressful, because I wished I had like consistent friends, like from my primary to secondary, and that also affected me as an adult. And yeah, I love my family, I love my siblings so much. I appreciate the fact that I was able to be the elder sister. They gave me the opportunity to be an elder sister, and I would not take that for granted. Then now I'm going to just dive straight into, I don't want to talk much about my family and whatnot, and that's not why we're doing this video, right? So I made a list, and I'm going to talk about the 5 things I had to go through in the process of being the first child in a Nigerian home. The first thing is accountability. And first things first, accountability. I had to be accountable for a lot of things that I literally wasn't supposed to be accountable for. If my siblings should do something or whatnot at that young age, I had to, like, okay, yes, it's me. I always had to I always had to be the one always like accepting, okay, yeah, I did it. I was one that misplaced it, even when most times I wasn't. Like, I just had to be accountable for things. I'm sure you guys already know what that is. The second one is sacrifice. Man, I sacrificed a lot. Most times I sacrificed my happiness to make my siblings happy. I sacrificed my happiness to make my mom happy. I sort of put myself in a box where I was just like, you know what, you're the sacrificial lamb, and you have to be the one that has to feel everything, all the clashes, all the flashes, whatever. You have to just go through it. So that really affected me, because every time I just felt like, you know what, I'm the one that will be yelled at. I'm the one that has to go through this for my siblings to have a certain kind of lifestyle. I had to be a certain person just because I was the eldest sibling, and it sort of took a turn out on me. Like, I felt really frustrated at some point in my life, like, what? Sacrificial lamb for what? But yeah, the third one is understanding. Honestly speaking, I understood a lot of things that I honestly didn't understand. What I mean is, sometimes sometimes situations will come up where, like, you have to understand, you need to know that this is this. And most times I had questions. I wasn't a very inquisitive kid as a child. I would most times act like I understood things when I actually didn't even understand them. So it came with a lot. Being a first child came with a lot of understanding. I had to understand things. I had to understand that, okay, you know what, you're going to be maltreated this way because you're the first child. You need to be this way. You need to understand that you have to be this way because you're the first child. And sometimes I just wanted to be a child. Like, growing up at age age 10, 11, 12, I just wanted to be a child. I wanted to feel the experience of being a child and not being an elder sister to another child, right? But as life may be, that's what we see and that's what we have and that's what it is. The next one is responsibility. Man, I had a lot of responsibility, man. I had to be responsible for a lot of things. Imagine being 13, or 13 is far, being 12, 11, and being responsible for another child. Because I don't know, for some weird reasons, it felt like I trained my siblings, right? Aside from the 3 boys growing up right now, because I'm hardly in their space. But my 2 sisters, I had to, like, you know, I looked after them like my life depended on it. Okay, so there was just a lot of responsibility on me, taking care of them, having them getting them ready for school, making sure that, okay, you're not injured, you're not going missing, you're doing your assignment. And by the time I'm doing all of this, I forget myself in the process and I don't get to do these things that I'm supposed to do for myself. I couldn't do most things that I needed to do for myself because I was responsible for my younger siblings. I'm sure you guys get what I mean. Like, I'm sure most of you can relate with being the first child, growing up as the first child in a Nigerian home, and the sacrifices you had to make just being the first child in a Nigerian home. I'm making this video because I want it to be relatable to everybody, like most people that have gone through the same thing that I've been through. And yes, I hope this video just sort of consoles you and makes you feel better. The last but not the least is pain, man. The pain I went through being the first child, I cannot even explain. Most things I can't even say on camera because it's more like putting my family out there and, you know, making my mom feel like she didn't do enough, and that's not what I want to. That's not the picture I'm trying to paint. I'm just trying to say that, man, the pain I went through, sometimes I would go to my room and I would cry because my mom would yell at me for something I didn't do, would yell at me for my siblings making mistakes, yell at me for being myself. And it just sort of made me feel like, who are you, Sophia? I lost myself for the past 20 years of my life, because I'm 24. For the past 20 years of my life, I lost myself. In fact, it took me so much to actually redefine and refine myself, because most times I'll just be like, man, I would hide in my own shell in a box where, like, I'm like, you're a sacrificial lamb, you're nothing but a sacrificial lamb. You cannot pursue your dreams. All you need to do is help your siblings pursue their dreams, help your mom feel better, help everybody. Like, I just had to be that person that everybody will push to the front. When something bad, we lose someone, it's more like, don't cry, you don't cry because your mom is weak, or you don't cry because your siblings look up to you. Once they see you cry, they're going to feel down. You're supposed to be the strong one, you're supposed to be the iron bender. Like, it felt really frustrating because of all of that, I couldn't feel pain when I needed to feel it. And I became numb. I became very, very numb. And believe me, having to not feel pain when you're supposed to, having to not cry when you need to, is not a good thing. So as a first child, I went through a whole lot. Most things I can't even see on camera. Like, my mom used to be very, like, she used to beat me a lot, okay? Like, she was young when she had me, so I can understand that having a child at a young age was not really what she wanted. So I went through a lot of beatings here and there. Like, when I mean beatings, like, my mom would literally stone me with anything, hit me with anything that she finds close to her once I do something as little as little. So yeah, like, growing up as the first child was an experience. I don't know if I would want to be a first child again. Honestly, I wouldn't, because nobody wants to be a sacrificial lamb. Nobody wants to take a lot of responsibilities, won't take a lot of responsibility on them when they are not of age. And I like to say this, for women that give birth at a very young age, please, if you're not ready to have a child, if you're not ready to take care of a child, if you don't have the capacity, let everything be money. Everything isn't all about money. Do you get? Like, sometimes you have to be mentally ready to have a child, and that's one reason why I cannot have a child out of wedlock, because I am not ready to have a child without a father figure in his or her life. So yeah, we've officially come to the end of this video. Please do not forget to subscribe, do not forget to like, do not forget to share, and most importantly, do not forget to drop a comment in the comment section down below. Share your experience with me in the comment section and I will connect. And yeah, bye.